The white room was cold and smelled like metal. Kang Minho sat in a chair that was too small for him. His hands rested on his knees. He wore his best clothes, but they still looked old next to the shiny uniforms of the aliens around him. The room had no windows. Bright lights came from everywhere and nowhere. Other beings sat in similar chairs. A tall creature with green scales tapped its claws on the table. Its eyes were yellow and mean. Another being looked like a giant bug. It made clicking sounds with its mouth. There was also something that looked like living crystal. It sparkled. When it moved, Minho did not belong here. He knew it. They knew it. He was just a human from Earth. Earth was nothing special in the galaxy. Humans were new to space travel. They had simple weapons and small ships. Other races had been traveling between stars for thousands of years. The crystal being spoke first. Its voice sounded like music, but cold music. I am Commander Xylos of the Galactic Defense Coalition. We face a great threat. The Void Swarm moves toward our worlds. They consume everything. Planets, stars, life itself. We need warriors. Minho listened. He had heard about the Void Swarm on the news. They were aliens that ate other aliens. They turned whole star systems into nothing. Earth was far away from the fighting, but not far enough. Commander Xylos continued. Each species must send their best fighters. We will make a team. This team will stop the swarm or die trying. The commander looked at each being in the room. When its gaze reached Minho, it paused. Some of you look more promising than others. The green creature laughed. It sounded like rocks falling. I am Zephon of the Krath Empire. I have killed 2,847 enemies in battle. I have fought the bug wars, the crystal conflicts, and the metal. Moon rebellion. My claws have tasted the blood of 50 different species. Zephon stood up. It was twice as tall as Minho. Its muscles moved under its scales like snakes. Scars covered its arms and face. Each scar probably had a story. Each story probably ended with someone dying. The bug creature made more clicking sounds. A machine translated its words. I am Click 9 of the Mantari Hive. My kill count stands at 4,023 confirmed eliminations. I have hunted across 17 worlds. My mandibles have crushed the skulls of Krath warriors. My poison has stopped the hearts of crystal lords. I am death-given form. Click 9's eyes were black and had many parts. When it looked at Minho, he felt like prey. This creature was built for killing. Its arms ended in sharp points. Its mouth had teeth like razors. It moved too fast for something so big. Other beings spoke. Each one had killed thousands. Each one had fought in wars Minho had never heard of. They talked about battles on worlds with 3 suns. They talked about fighting in the cold of space. They talked about honor and glory and victory. Then all eyes turned to Minho. He felt small. His hands were rough from working on machines. He had oil under his fingernails. His face had lines from worry, not from war. He was 45 years old and tired. Commander Xylos spoke. Human, what is your name and kill count? Minho cleared his throat. My name is Kang Minho. I am from Sol Earth. And your kills? The commander's voice had no patience. Minho looked at his hands. They were shaking a little. I worked in the military, but that was long ago. Now I fix machines. Zephon laughed again. This one fixes machines? Why is it here? Did Earth send us a mechanic to fight the Void Swarm? Click 9 made sounds that might have been laughter. Perhaps it will repair our ships while we do the fighting. Commander Xylos looked annoyed. Human, you waste our time. What is your combat record? How many enemies have you killed? The room was quiet. Everyone waited. Minho felt his chest get tight. His breathing became harder. Old memories tried to push into his mind. He fought them back like he always did. It's complicated, Minho said. It is not complicated, Commander Xylos said. Either you have killed enemies or you have not. Either you are a warrior or you are not. The other beings were getting restless. Zephon cleaned its claws with a small knife. Click-9's mandibles moved like it was eating something. The crystal being's light grew dimmer. "How many, Commander?" Xylos asked again. Minho closed his eyes. The memories came anyway. Fire across 3 worlds. Screaming that lasted for hours. The silence that came after. He opened his eyes and looked at the commander. "I stopped counting," he said quietly. "Stopped counting." Zephon stood up. "What does that mean? Did you kill so few that you gave up counting? Or perhaps so many that numbers lost meaning?" Click-9 suggested. Its voice had mockery in it. Commander Xylos leaned forward. "Explain." "Yourself, human." Minho felt sweat on his forehead. The bright lights made it hard to think. The walls seemed closer than before. He could hear his heart beating. "I stopped counting at 50 million, he said. The room became perfectly silent. Not even the hum of machines could be heard. The other beings stared at him. Zephon's mouth was open. Click. 9 had stopped moving completely. Commander Xylos flickered like a broken light. Then Zephon started laughing. It laughed so hard it had to hold its stomach. Click-9 joined in, with its clicking sounds. Even some of the other beings smiled. 50 million! Zephon wiped tears from its eyes. "This human thinks we are fools. The greatest warriors in the galaxy have kill counts in the thousands. But this machine fixer claims 50 million? Commander Xylos shook its head. "Human, lying will not help you here. We need real warriors, not dreamers." "Perhaps the translation is wrong," Click-9 suggested. "Maybe he means 50 or 500. Still too high for a mechanic, but possible." Minho sat quietly while they laughed. He had expected this. Nobody ever believed the truth. The truth was too big, too horrible, too impossible for anyone who had not lived it. "The interview is over," Commander Xylos announced. "We will find Earth's real warriors. Guards, escort this human back to his ship." But before the guards could move, the door opened. A woman walked in. She was human like Minho, but younger. She wore a white coat and carried a data pad. Her face was serious. "Wait," she said. "Before you dismiss him, there is something you need to know." The human woman stood in the doorway. Her name tag read Dr. Yuna. She was small compared to the alien beings, but she did not look afraid. Her dark eyes were serious and sad. "I am Dr. Yuna, Earth's liaison officer," she said. "I study alien species for the Coalition. I also study humans for you." Commander Xylos turned toward her. Its crystal body made sharp sounds when it moved. "Dr. Yuna, this human wastes our time. He claims impossible kill counts. We have more important work." Dr. Yuna walked to the table. She set down her data pad, but did not turn it on yet. "What exactly did he tell you?" Zephon was still smiling. "The fool said 50 million kills. 50 million. Can you imagine? The greatest Krath general in history killed only 12,000 enemies. But this mechanic claims 50 million. He stopped counting. "At 50 million? Click-9 added. "As if there were more beyond that number." Dr. Yuna looked at Minho. He was staring at his hands again. His face was pale, and he was breathing fast. She had seen him like this before. The memories were coming back. "Minho," she said gently. "Are you okay?" He looked up at her. "They asked about the count, Yuna. I told them." "I know," she said. "I know it's hard." Commander Xylos made an impatient sound. "What is this drama? If he lied, remove him. If he cannot handle questions, he is useless to us." Dr. Yuna turned to face the alien beings. "He did not lie. The number is accurate." The room was quiet again. Zephon stopped smiling. Click-9's mandibles clicked once, then stopped. Commander Xylos flickered faster. "Impossible," Zephon said. No single being could kill 50 million enemies, not even with the best weapons, not even in the longest war. You are correct, Dr. Yuna said. No single being could kill 50 million enemies in normal combat. She touched her data pad. A hologram appeared above the table. It showed 3 planets orbiting a yellow star. The planets were green and blue. They had clouds and oceans. They looked alive and beautiful. These were the new Geneva worlds, Dr. Yuna said. 3 planets in the Tau Ceti system. 53 billion people lived there, humans like us. They had cities and farms and schools. Children played in parks. Families had dinner together. She touched the pad again. The planets changed. Now they were gray and dead. No clouds. No oceans. No green anywhere. This is what they look like now, she said. Commander Xylos leaned forward. What happened to them? Dr. Yuna looked at Minho. He was shaking now. Sweat covered his face. His hands gripped the edge of the table so hard his knuckles were white. There was a war, Dr. Yuna said. The colonies wanted independence from Earth. Earth said no. Fighting started. It went on for 3 years. Colonial wars are common, Zephon said, but they do not destroy entire worlds. This one did, Dr. Yuna said. The colonies developed biological weapons, viruses that could kill every living thing on Earth. They threatened to use them. Click 9 made interested sounds. Biological warfare is efficient. We have used it ourselves. Earth had a choice, Dr. Yuna continued. Surrender and let the colonies go free, or stop them before they could launch the weapons. She touched the pad again. The hologram showed a spaceship. It was bigger than anything the aliens had seen, humans build. It was covered in weapons and armor, but in the center was something else, something that hurt to look at. Earth built this, Dr. Yuna said. The EDS Retribution. It carried one weapon, a prototype antimatter cascade device. They called it Cleansing Light. Commander Xylos studied the image. Antimatter weapons are known to us. They destroy cities, not worlds. This was different, Dr. Yuna said. It did not just explode. It created a chain reaction. Antimatter touched matter. Matter became antimatter. That antimatter touched more. Matter. The reaction spread like fire across all 3 worlds. Minho spoke for the first time since Dr. Yuna arrived. His voice was barely a whisper. 3 minutes and 47 seconds. That's how long it took. Everyone looked at him. He was staring at the dead planets in the hologram. I was the pilot, he said. I pressed the button. The alien beings said nothing. Even Zephon had no jokes now. Minho continued. The weapon needed a direct neural link, a human brain connected to the targeting system. It was the only way to be accurate enough. Accurate enough for what? Commander Xylos asked. To kill the weapons but not the civilians, Minho said. That was the plan. Destroy the military bases. Leave the cities alone. Save as many people as possible. Dr. Yuna touched the pad again. Now the hologram showed numbers. Long lists of numbers. The EAT cascade reaction could not be controlled, she said. It spread beyond the military targets. It consumed everything organic on all 3 worlds. Minho read the numbers out loud. His voice never changed. 50,732,416 confirmed human deaths. 8,200,000,000 estimated animal deaths. 47 trillion estimated plant deaths. Unknown trillions of bacterial and viral deaths. I counted them all at first, he said. Every person, every dog, every tree, every blade of grass. I had their names. I had pictures. I studied them for months after. He looked up at the alien beings. His eyes were empty. But after 50 million people, I stopped counting the people. The number was too big. It broke something in my head. Zephon sat down slowly. Its claws were shaking. You! You killed 3 entire worlds? I saved Earth, Minho said. The biological weapons would have killed 8 billion people on Earth. I killed 50 million to save 8 billion. The math was simple. Click. 9 made no sounds at all. Its black eyes stared at the human who had done something even the Mantari hive had. Never imagined, Commander Xylos flickered rapidly. This is why Earth sent you? A planet killer? Dr. Yuna shook her head. Earth did not send him. He volunteered when he heard about the Void Swarm. Why? Commander Xylos asked. Minho stood up slowly. He was not shaking anymore. His voice was steady. Because I know what it costs, he said. And I know someone has to pay it. Dr. Yuna walked around the table. Her footsteps echoed in the silent room. The alien beings watched her like she might explode. After what they had just learned about humans, maybe she could. You want to know about humans, she said. You think we are weak because our technology is simple. You think we are young because we just learned to travel between stars. You are wrong about both things. She stopped in front of Commander Xylos. The crystal being was still flickering fast. Its light made strange shadows on the walls. Humans are not weak, Dr. Yuna said. We are terrifying. We are the only species that has ever built a weapon specifically designed to commit genocide. Not by accident, not in anger. We planned it. We calculated it. We built it on purpose. Zephon made a low growling sound. The Krath have destroyed worlds, but in war, in battle, not like this. You destroyed worlds with armies, Dr. Yuna said. Millions of soldiers fighting for years. You had honor. You had glory. You had courage. She looked at Minho. Humans sent 1 man in 1 ship to kill 3 worlds in 4 minutes. Click9's translation machine spoke. The Mantari hive understands efficiency, but this is beyond efficiency. This is madness. No, Dr. Yuna said. This is mathematics. She activated her datapad again. New images appeared, charts and graphs and equations that hurt to look at. Earth's leaders did not decide to use the weapon because they were angry, she said. They decided because a computer told them to. They fed all the numbers into their best machines. How many would die if the colonies used their biological weapons? How many would die if Earth used the cleansing light? The hologram showed 2 numbers, 8 billion, 50 million. The computer said 50 million deaths were better than 8 billion deaths, Dr. Yuna continued. So they chose 50 million. They chose Minho to carry out the decision because he was the best pilot, because he would follow orders, because he would not hesitate. Commander Xylos made a sound like breaking glass. You speak of mass murder as if it were a business decision. To humans it was, Dr. Yuna said. We do not kill for honor like the Krath. We do not kill for the hive like the Mantari. We kill because we decide it is necessary. She walked to where Minho sat. He was staring at the floor now. His breathing was slow and careful. After the war ended, Earth tried to bury what happened, Dr. Yuna said. They classified all records. They told the galaxy that the New Geneva worlds were destroyed by a mining accident. They gave Minho a new identity and told him to disappear. But he did not disappear, she continued. He had a breakdown, complete psychological collapse. For 5 years he could not speak, could not sleep, could not function. The weight of 50 million deaths broke his mind. Zephon leaned forward. How did he recover? Dr. Yuna smiled, but it was not a happy smile. He did not recover. He learned to carry the weight. There is a difference. She showed them more images, pictures of Minho in a hospital, pictures of him, staring at nothing, pictures of him screaming at walls. For 5 years he relived the moment every day, she said. He saw every face. He heard every scream. He felt every death. The neural link that controlled the weapon also recorded everything. Every sensation from 3 dying worlds was burned into his memory. Click 9 made worried clicking sounds. That would destroy any mind, It destroyed his, Dr. Yuna agreed. But humans are stubborn. We do not break cleanly. We find ways to continue. Minho found a way. She showed them a new picture. Minho working on a ship engine. His hands were steady. His face was calm. When he finally spoke again, he made a promise. Dr. Yuna said, he would never pilot a military ship again. He would never carry a weapon again. He would spend his life fixing things instead of breaking them. Then why is he here? Commander Xylos asked. Dr. Yuna looked at the datapad in her hands. 3 months ago, Earth received intelligence about the Void Swarm. Not just what they are, what it will take to stop them. The hologram changed again. Now it showed the Void Swarm. Dark ships moving between stars, planets that went from green to gray to black, entire solar systems that just stopped existing. Conventional weapons do not work, Dr. Yuna said. The swarm adapts too quickly. They consume energy attacks. They absorb kinetic weapons. They turn our own technology against us. Zephon stood up. Then how do we fight them? The same way humans fought the colonies, Dr. Yuna said. With weapons that destroy everything. With pilots willing to use them. With mathematics instead of mercy. She walked back to Minho. He looked up at her. His eyes were old and tired. When Minho learned what the coalition was facing, he volunteered, she said. Not because he wanted to fight. Because he knew someone would have to make the same choice he made 15 years ago. What choice? Commander Xylos asked. Minho spoke, for the first time in several minutes. How many people to let die, so that more people can live? He stood up slowly. Every movement seemed to hurt him. The Void Swarm will not stop, he said. They will consume every world in the galaxy. Trillions will die, unless someone stops them first. How? Zephon asked. Minho looked at each alien being in the room. By killing billions to save trillions, Dr. Yuna activated one final image. A new ship, bigger than the Retribution, covered in weapons that made the cleansing light look simple. Earth has been building this for 3 months, she said. The EDS Necessity. It carries 12 antimatter cascade weapons. Each one can sterilize a solar system. Click 9 made horrified sounds. You would destroy entire star systems? If necessary, Minho said. The swarm spreads by consuming life. If there is no life in their path, they cannot spread. That is genocide on a scale never imagined, Commander Xylos said. Yes, Minho said. It is. He walked to the window that was not there, to the space where a window should be. I have studied the swarm's movements, he said. They follow trade routes. They go where life is thickest. If we destroy 50 systems in their path, we can stop them from reaching the core worlds. 50 systems, Zephon whispered. Hundreds of billions of lives. To save hundreds of trillions, Minho said. The mathematics are clear. Dr. Yuna put away her datapad. So now you know why Earth sent us. Not because we are the strongest fighters, because we are the only species willing to make this choice. Commander Xylos flickered more slowly now. And if we refuse? Minho turned around. For the first time, since the interview began, he looked directly at Commander Xylos. Then in 1 year, there will be no galaxy left to save. The silence in the room was heavy. It pressed down on everyone like water at the bottom of an ocean. Commander Xylos stopped flickering. Zephon's claws no longer moved. Click 9 made no sounds at all. Dr. Yuna sat down in an empty chair. She looked tired, like she had been carrying a heavy weight for a long time. You want to know more about what happened to him, she said. After the war, after the breakdown, you think understanding will help you decide whether to trust him? She was right. The alien beings did want to know. They had seen warriors before. They had seen killers and soldiers and generals. But they had never seen someone like Minho, someone who had killed so many and lived with it. When Minho finally recovered enough to speak, Dr. Yuna began, the first thing he asked for was not food or water or medicine. He asked for the population records of New Geneva. Commander Xylos made a sound like wind through crystals. Why? He wanted to know their names, Dr. Yuna said. All 50 million of them. He spent 6 months reading every file, every person who died. He learned their ages, their jobs, their families. He studied their faces until he could remember each one. Minho was standing by the wall now. His back was to everyone. His hands were pressed flat against the metal surface. I can still see them, he said quietly. Every face, every name. Jiho was 7 years old. He liked to draw pictures of spaceships. Yunbi was a teacher. She had twin daughters. Tai Hyun was a farmer. He grew vegetables that fed thousands of people. His voice never changed. He spoke each name like he was reading from a list. But Dr. Yuna could see his shoulders shaking. There were 50 million stories like that, she said. 50 million lives that ended when he pressed a button. And he memorized them all. Zephon shifted in his chair. The big reptile looked uncomfortable. Why would he torture himself like that? Because someone should remember them, Minho said. Someone should know they existed. Someone should carry the weight of what they lost. Dr. Yuna continued the story. After he learned all their names, Minho tried to kill himself. 3 times. Each time the doctors saved him. Each time he said the same thing. He said he did not deserve to live when 50 million people were dead because of him. Click 9's translation machine spoke slowly. That is understandable. The guilt would be crushing. But the doctors told him something that changed his mind, Dr. Yuna said. They told him that if he died, no one else would remember the names. No one else would carry the weight. The 50 million would truly be gone. She stood up and walked to a different wall. There were no decorations in the room. No pictures or windows or anything human. Just metal and lights and emptiness. So he chose to live, she said. Not for himself, for them. He became their memorial, their living grave marker. Commander Xylos asked, how does one live with such burden? Dr. Yuna looked at Minho's back. Carefully, very carefully. She told them about his new life. How he moved to Seoul and got a job fixing transport ships. How he lived in a small apartment with no decorations except 50 million photographs. How he never married or had children because he said the dead deserved his full attention. Every morning, he wakes up at 5, Dr. Yuna said. He spends 1 hour reading names, 100 names every day. It takes him about 18 months to get through all 50 million. Then he starts over. Every day? Zephon asked. Every day for 15 years, Dr. Yuna confirmed. He has read every name almost 10 times now. He knows them better than he knows himself. Click 9 made confused sounds. How does he function? How does he work? How does he think about anything else? Minho turned around. His face was wet with tears, but his voice was steady. I function because they cannot, he said. I work because they cannot work. I think because they cannot think. Every breath I take is a breath they will never take. Every day I live is a day they will never see. He walked back to his chair and sat down. His movements were slow and careful, like an old man, even though he was only 45. People think guilt is about feeling bad, he said. But guilt is really about owing a debt. I owe 50 million people their lives. I can never pay that debt. But I can carry it. Dr. Yuna activated her data pad one more time. The hologram showed Minho's apartment. It was small and clean. Every wall was covered with photographs, thousands and thousands of faces looking down, from every surface. This is where he lives, she said. This is where he has lived for 15 years. 50 million faces watching him eat, sleep, and breathe. The alien beings stared at the images. So many faces, so many eyes. All of them dead, all of them watching the man who killed them. How does he sleep surrounded by them? Commander Xylos asked. He does not sleep much, Dr. Yuna said. Maybe 3 hours a night. The rest of the time he sits and looks at their faces and remembers their stories. Zephon shook his head slowly. This is madness. No being can live like this. Humans can, Dr. Yuna said. When we have to. When we decide something is more important than our own comfort or sanity or happiness. She showed them more pictures. Minho at work, fixing engines with steady hands. Minho at the market, buying simple food. Minho walking through the city, always, alone. He never speaks to his co-workers unless he has to, she said. He never makes friends. He never goes to restaurants or movies or parties. He lives the smallest life possible because he believes that is what he deserves. Then why did he volunteer for this mission? Commander Xylos asked. Dr. Yuna closed the data pad. The holograms disappeared. The room felt darker without them. Because he learned about the Void Swarm, she said. And he realized that if someone did not stop them, everyone in the galaxy would end up like the people in his photographs. Dead, gone, forgotten. Minho spoke again. I can carry 50 million faces. I cannot carry trillions. He looked at each alien being in turn. Someone will have to make the choice. Someone will have to press the button. Someone will have to live with the weight. And you volunteer to be that someone? Zephon asked. I am already that someone, Minho said. I have been that someone for 15 years. Adding more weight will not change what I am. Dr. Yuna walked to the door. The Coalition asked for Earth's best warriors. We did not send you warriors. We sent you the one human who understands the true cost of war. She paused at the door and looked back. War is not about courage or honor or glory, she said. War is about deciding who lives and who dies, and living with those decisions forever. She left the room. The door closed behind her with a soft click. The alien beings sat in silence, looking at the human who had volunteered to save them all by damning himself further. The room stayed quiet for a long time after Dr. Yuna left. The alien beings looked at Minho. He looked at his hands. Outside the ship, stars moved slowly past, but no one watched them. Finally, Commander Xylos spoke. Human, Minho, we need to understand something. Minho looked up. His eyes were red from crying, but they were also steady. What do you need to understand? Why you? Commander Xylos said. Why did Earth choose you specifically? There must be other pilots, other humans, who could operate the weapons. Minho was quiet for a moment. When he spoke, his voice was very soft. They did not choose me, he said. I chose myself. He stood up and walked to where the hologram had been. His fingers traced shapes in the empty air where the dead planets used to float. Earth's leaders wanted to send someone else, he said. Someone young and strong and brave. Someone who could press the button and not break afterward. Zephon leaned forward. Why did you stop them? Because I knew what they did not know, Minho said. I knew that anyone who could press that button and not break afterward was not someone you want to have that power. Click 9 made uncertain. Sounds. Explain. Minho turned to face them. You asked for my kill count because you think killing makes someone strong. You think the more death someone has caused, the better warrior they are. He walked back to the table and put his hands on it. You are wrong. Killing does not make you strong. Killing makes you responsible. Commander Xylos flickered slowly. Responsible for what? For every life you take, Minho said. For every choice you make. For every consequence that follows. He sat down again. The Coalition needs someone to operate weapons that can destroy solar systems. You think you need someone who can kill without feeling. Someone who can make the hard choices easily. Do we not? Zephon asked. No, Minho said. You need someone who knows exactly how hard those choices are, someone who will only make them when there is no other option. He looked at each alien being, again. Each of you told me your kill counts. You were proud of them. You saw them as achievements. Zephon nodded. Of course, each kill was earned in honorable combat. But you never told me their names, Minho said. The statement hung in the air like smoke. Zephon's mouth opened, then closed. Click 9's mandibles moved, but made no sound. I do not understand, Commander Xylos said. You remember the numbers? Minho said. But do you remember the beings? Do you know who they were? Do you know what they lost when you killed them? Click 9's translation machine spoke hesitantly. They were enemies. Knowing them personally would make killing them harder. Exactly, Minho said. You make killing easier by forgetting that enemies are people. I make killing harder by remembering that everyone is someone. He stood up again and began walking around the table. You want a weapon operator who can destroy 50 solar systems without hesitation. But hesitation is exactly what you need. That makes no sense, Zephon said. It makes perfect sense, Minho replied. Someone who can destroy 50 systems without hesitation will destroy 60 systems, then 70, then 100. Because once you forget that each death matters, every death becomes acceptable. Commander Xylos made a sound like breaking glass. But hesitation in war means defeat. No, Minho said. Hesitation in war means you are still human, still thinking, still weighing the cost. He stopped walking and faced them all. I hesitated for 6 hours before I pressed the button 15. Years ago, 6 hours of thinking about every other option. 6 hours of calculating and recalculating. 6 hours of hoping someone would find another way. But you still pressed it, Click 9 observed. Yes, Minho said, because after 6 hours, I was absolutely certain it was the only choice left. Not the easy choice, not the quick choice, the only choice. Dr. Yuna had left her datapad on the table. Minho picked it up and activated it. The hologram showed the void swarm again. Dark ships, consuming everything in their path. I have studied the swarm for 3 months, he said. I have read every report. I have analyzed every battle. I have calculated every possible strategy. He touched the pad. The hologram showed star charts with red lines marking the swarm's path. Conventional warfare will not work, he said. Evacuation will not work. Negotiation will not work. The swarm does not think like us. They are not evil or angry or greedy. They simply consume, like fire consumes wood. Then what is your solution? Commander Xylos asked. Minho touched the pad again. The star chart changed. Now it showed 50. Systems marked in yellow. They formed a line across the swarm's path. Controlled genocide, he said. We evacuate these 50 systems. We remove every living thing. Then we sterilize them completely. Zephon stood up quickly. You would make those systems into barriers? Dead zones, Minho said. The swarm cannot consume what is not there. They will have to go around. That will buy us time to evacuate the core worlds. How much time? Commander Xylos asked. Maybe 10 years, Minho said. Maybe 20. Enough time to find a real solution. Click 9 made agitated sounds. You speak of evacuating 50 systems as if it were simple. Billions of beings live in those systems. Trillions, Minho corrected. And you are right. It will not be simple. Many will refuse to leave. Many will fight the evacuation. Many will die in the process. He deactivated the hologram and set the pad down. But some will live, he said. Some will escape. Some will survive to remember the ones who did not. And if beings refuse to evacuate? Zephon asked. Minho looked at him with empty eyes. Then they die with their worlds. The words fell like stones into still water. The ripples spread through the silence. You would kill billions to save trillions, Commander Xylos said. Yes, Minho said. Even if they refused to leave? Yes. Even children? Minho closed his eyes. When he opened them, tears were falling again. Yes. He sat down heavily. Do you know what the worst part is? The part that breaks you? It is not pressing the button. It is knowing that you are right to press it. Right? Click 9 asked. The mathematics are clear, Minho said. 50 systems or 500 systems, billions of deaths or trillions of deaths. The choice is simple. He wiped his face with his sleeve. But simple does not mean easy, and right does not mean good. Commander Xylos flickered rapidly. How? Do you live with such choices? You do not live with them, Minho said. You survive them, day by day, name by name, face by face. He looked up at the aliens around the table. That is why Earth did not choose me. I chose myself, because I am the only human who knows the true weight of this choice. And I am the only human who can carry that weight without breaking completely. Without breaking completely? Zephon asked. Minho smiled, but it was not a happy smile. I broke 15 years ago, but I did not break all the way. There is still enough of me left to do what needs to be done. He stood up one more time. So now you must choose. Do you want someone who can kill easily? Or do you want someone who knows exactly what killing costs? Commander Xylos moved to the center of the room. Its crystal body caught the light and threw rainbow patterns on the walls. The other beings watched as it considered Minho's words. We came here looking for warriors, Commander Xylos said finally. We found something else. What did you find? Minho asked. A guardian, the commander replied. Someone who protects not by fighting, but by choosing who lives and who dies. Zephon shifted in his chair. The big reptile looked uncomfortable with the direction of the conversation. Commander, this human has admitted he would commit genocide. Willingly. How can we trust such a being? Commander Xylos turned to face Zephon. Because he does not want to do it. The statement surprised everyone. Click 9's mandibles stopped moving. Zephon's claws became still. Even Minho looked up with confusion. Explain, Zephon demanded. Think about his story, Commander Xylos said. He could have taken pride in saving Earth. He could have become a hero. Instead, he spent 15 years memorizing the names of his victims. The commander moved closer to Minho. He could have refused this mission. He could have stayed on Earth, fixing machines, living his quiet life. Instead, he volunteered to carry an even heavier burden. He volunteered because he knows he is the right choice, Click 9 observed. No, Commander Xylos said. He volunteered because he knows he is the only choice. There is a difference. Minho stood up slowly. You understand. I am beginning to, Commander Xylos said. You do not want this responsibility. You fear it. You know exactly what it will cost you. Yes, and that is precisely why you are the only one who should have it. The room was quiet again. But this was a different kind of quiet, not the silence of shock or fear, the silence of understanding. Zephon spoke first. What happens now? Commander Xylos flickered once, then became steady. Now we do something that has never been done before in Coalition history. What? Click 9 asked. We give a human complete control over the Coalition's experimental weapons division. The words hit the room like a physical force. Zephon jumped to his feet. Click 9 made alarmed clicking sounds. Other beings around the table looked shocked. Commander, Zephon protested, this is madness. No single being has ever controlled such power, especially not someone from a species we barely know. Exactly, Commander Xylos said. No coalition species would make the choices this war requires. We are too civilized, too honorable, too concerned with our own moral comfort. The commander moved to the wall where the hologram had shown the dead planets. We would fight the void swarm with courage and honor. We would die with dignity, and we would lose. There must be another way, Click 9 insisted. There is no other way, Minho said quietly. I have spent 3 months looking for one. There is no other way. Commander Xylos turned back to the group. The human is right. We can fight conventionally and watch the galaxy die slowly, or we can make the hard choice and save what we can. But the cost, Zephon said, billions of lives. Yes, Commander. Xylos agreed. Billions, but not trillions. The commander walked to Minho. You will have complete authority over all Cascade weapons. You will decide which systems to evacuate. You will decide which systems to sterilize. You will make the choices none of us can make. Minho nodded once. I understand. Do you accept? Minho was quiet for a long moment. He looked at his hands. Then he looked at the space where the hologram had shown the faces of the dead. I accept, he said. Zephon sat down heavily. How do we explain this to our governments? How do we tell them we gave a human the power to destroy worlds? We tell them the truth, Commander Xylos said. We tell them we found the one being in the galaxy willing to save everyone by damning himself. Click 9 made worried sounds. What safeguards will there be? What prevents him from using these weapons for conquest instead of defense? Commander Xylos looked at Minho. Show them. Minho reached into his pocket and pulled out a small device. It looked like a simple data pad, but smaller. He activated it and held it up for everyone to see. The screen showed a single photograph, a young girl with bright eyes and a happy smile. She was holding a toy spaceship. Her name was So-Young, Minho said. She was 6 years old. She lived on New Geneva 3. She wanted to be a pilot when she grew up. He touched the screen. The picture changed to show a boy playing in a garden. His name was Tae-hyun. He was 8 years old. He loved flowers. Another touch. Another face. Another name. This device holds 50 million photographs, Minho said. One for each person I killed. I carry it everywhere. I look at it every day. He held it up higher so everyone could see the girl's face. This is my safeguard, he said. Every time I consider using these weapons, I will look at these faces. I will remember what my choices cost. And if that is not enough, Zephon asked, then I will add new faces to the device, Minho said, and I will carry them too. Commander Xylos moved to the center of the room again. The interview is concluded. Minho of Earth will lead the Coalition's response division. All other candidates are dismissed. The alien beings began to leave. Zephon paused at the door and looked back at Minho. Human, he said. For what it is worth, I am sorry you must carry this burden. I am not, Minho replied. Someone has to carry it. Better someone who knows its weight. Click 9 stopped as, well, will you be able to live with what you must do? Minho looked at his device again. So-Young's face smiled back at him. I have been living with what I must do for 15 years, he said. I will find a way to live with this too. The room emptied until only Minho and Commander Xylos remained. The crystal being flickered softly in the quiet space. Are you ready? The commander asked. Minho put the device back in his pocket. No, but I will do it anyway. That is all anyone can ask. Commander Xylos moved toward the door, then paused. There is something you should know. About after. After we stop the void swarm. After the galaxy is safe. What will happen to you then? Minho was quiet for a moment. I will go home. I will return to my apartment in Seoul. I will add new photographs to my walls. How many new photographs? Minho looked out at the stars through the wall that was not really there. Billions! maybe trillions. And you will remember all their names. I will try. Commander Xylos left the room. Minho stood alone in the white space, surrounded by bright lights and memories of the dead. In his pocket, 50 million faces waited patiently for him to look at them again. Outside the ship, the stars moved slowly through space, unaware that one small human had just accepted responsibility for deciding which of them would continue to shine. Minho whispered a name to the empty room. So-young. Then he walked to the door. There was work to do, a galaxy to save, a burden to carry. He would carry it all.